G'day, Ben from Melbourne here. Today we're going to talk about a bit of Australian modern psych, which isn't King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, because they feature heavily on this channel anyway, and a lot of you already know them, but it is great that a band like that is becoming like so popular because they're such an original band, seem to be able to incorporate everything into what they do sound wise. They do have a heavy psych influence and in their sound as well. I think they're brilliant, and using their name in the subject heading will probably get a few people annoyed because they'll say it's clickbait, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting peepers on your vids. Anyway, that's what the big channels tell me anyway. So let's get straight into it with a great band from, believe it or not, Brisbane, Australia. Check that cover art. And they're called Dreamtime, and this is the record Strange Pleasures. Big swathes of instrumental sections. There's female vocals on there, and some male vocals in there as well, but sort of bit more synth heavy on this, but like don't let that scare off. There are guitars in there as well. Like the synths are more like to create that atmosphere and things like that, and just epic songs, like 8 and 10 minute things. I'll just let you see the entire. Whoa, man! Yeah, makes you feel like you're on drugs when you're not. Not that I know what that's like. Anyway, let's have a little look. Just black vinyl. So yeah, just this is probably a real throwback to something that you probably would have heard back in the day. So I'm sure all of you old bastards out there in the VC would love this record. I believe they've got 4 or 5 records, maybe more by now. But this is the only one I've got. I should get more because I do love this record. It's pretty amazing. I'm just going to put on the goggles for a second, just so I can tell you what label this is on if you want to hunt it down. Sky Lantern, well, it's got 3 things on there. Sky Lantern Records, Cardinal, and Tim Records, spelt T-Y-M. So there they are there. But great psych record. Everything you want in a good psych record. Next up, you may or may know this band if you are a fan of the label Flightless that the Gizzard, of course, used to be on. And this is, of course, Orb, not the Orb, the electronic. Also great. Sort of, what were they? House, dub influence electronic. Well, these guys are kind of like if you got 21st century schizoid man played by Black Sabbath, I suppose. Very big on the fuzz on their guitars, the brilliant drumming, the vocals by Zach, I think his name is. I can't think of his last name at the minute, but he's like gone on, and he was in the believe it or not, bands like the Frowning Clouds and stuff like that, which were like a real 60s garage jangle rock kind of thing. But this is just like a big molten lava, fat riff after fat riff, great time signatures and lots of bits to their songs that we love in the Psych stuff. And that cover artwork is just magnificent, isn't it? So yeah, there's the Flightless label there. They released 3 records. I don't know if they're going to do any more. I noticed this year that they played a one-off gig. They hadn't played together for ages. I unfortunately couldn't go. And there's a 4th record called Womb, which was supposed to be their first record, but for whatever reason, it might have just come out on a cassette or something. I can't remember. But anyway, there they are in all their glory on the inner there. And they just decided to get real psychedelic with pure white. Yeah. Look at that for long enough and you start seeing things in the white. Better show you the vinyl because it's pretty nice, and so's the label actually. There we go. Beautiful stuff. So if you love like your big fuzz fat riffs and that kind of Psych, you're gonna love this Orb record. Next up, something a little bit different, Comets. These are probably more like a krautrock influenced Psych band. It's all instrumental, like they rely on that repetition of the rhythm section. Some great fuzz bass lines supplied by the former bass player of Eddie Current Suppression Ring. Don't expect any punk rock style stuff a la Eddie on this. Fantastic stuff. Like the guitars are kind of, you wouldn't say that they're big riffs or anything like that. They're more like textural kind of dueling guitars, which I quite like. And yeah, kind of annoyish, but not as many guitar effects. It's probably a bit cleaner sound. This one's on Melted Records. It's a bit of a shit cover for a Psych band, but anyway. And just a pretty plain label too. Check them out, but the sounds contained are great. Next up, we've got a band called the Boulder. Is that named after the... Was there a writer? I believe there was. You can tell I'm not very literate. And this is a record, Tilt. written upside down, so you got to tilt the cover upside down. Now I like this artwork. These guys are probably Psych in that Black Angels, Brian Jonestown way. A lot of tremolo guitar, buried vocals in the mix, and just that like jangle out, atmospheric kind of thing. But good hooks and catchy songs as well. Again, I think this is just black vinyl. The coloured labels there, representing the circles on the cover to keep with the theme. And a little bit of innerage. There they are, rocking out. And, you know, big bit of paper with a small bit of writing. And who was this on? This is on Cheer Squad Records. Great label, Australian label. They've been doing a lot of good reissues as well. They not just Psych stuff all over the shop. They've done Underground Lovers and Hard-Ons, and they also release new Australian bands too, like the Boulders. Favorites. This is Buried Feather, Mind Swarm. I think this might be their second record. They've got about 4 or 5 now. I do have them all, and they're all great. They're all about the riff, a lot of great effects. Like I'm sure when they record, there's a lot of pedals going on with the guitars. They get some amazing sounds. These are like fat riffs, but catchy songs that stick in your head as well. Like this, really good record. I would recommend any of their records. They're all really good. And what do we got here? Oh no, it's a poster. There we go. What is it? Oh, you can read it. It's too close and weird for me. And the vinyl. Check that shit out, man. That purple black. That is beautiful. And I believe it says 51 out of 300. Lucky me. And did I say the label? I don't believe I did. It's Goggle Time. It is on so much. Oh, you miss it. It's like, how are you supposed to know? It's black on black, you dickheads. Buried Fur, blah, 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 blah. Cobra Snake Necktie Records. Way to put yourself out there. Jesus. Next, more flightless action from the band of Psych sisters called Stonefield. Now these guys are awesome. Their songs are epic with a capital E, with great keyboards and guitar sounds, and it's like it's fat riffs and just amazing vocals as well. Like the vocals are really, really good. They have, I believe, 3 records now, and that's a little while ago, so hopefully we see something from them soon, because they're a fantastic band and really good live as well. I know one of the sisters released a 10-inch. I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of that was, but it was quite different to this. It was more like electronic beats and stuff, so who knows, Stonefield might just release a dance record next. But for now, get into this. You might be thinking, well, that's not a very Psych looking cover, but check this out. Woohoo! Yeah, everybody loves that. It's a back cover there with the songage and the flightless label. I think this is colour. There they are, in colour. And, well, I was going to say, and also in colour, but it's just a cream white. It's quite nice, but, you know. Their other records have much more psychedelic covers, but I think I've shown them before. Anyway, this is Far From Earth, if I didn't say that already, and we'll just... No, we won't bother. Next up, Brown Spirits. I saw these guys support the great Japanese band Manami Deutsch, and these were a great support. Instrumental, just wild drumming, wild guitar playing, really, really good. Bit of keys tastefully in there as well. They're just a 3-piece, so the guitarist goes backwards and forwards to the keys. Weirdly, this is on Soul Jazz Records, which I know mainly for ska, reggae, and dub and roots music. So, well, right on cue. There's the inner, which has all of those records which are all dub and ska and reggae and all that sort of thing. I love that stuff, but quite odd that a Psych record comes out on that, and an Australian Psych record. There's that skull in the middle there, and there's the bit that tells you which side it is, because geez, I hate that when you don't know. I hate it more when they don't tell you the speed. Yeah, and if those pictures don't tell you what you're in for, you don't know what you're in for. Okay, now one that I'm sure everyone will know, but I think that this is a great record, the debut Taming Parlor in a speaker, and that's as psych as you can get with that cover there. It's pretty groovy, isn't it? Well, I'm even starting to speak psych using words like groovy. And there's the inner with the wordage on there. This is a double album. This is kind of like a one-man project. What's his name? Kevin something. They're from Perth. It's a really like analogy sound. Like I think he likes to use a lot of vintage equipment to record, and vintage amps and guitars and keys and all that sort of thing. And it's got that sound, really melodic as well. He's like got a real gift for hooks. And I quite like all of their records, even the new ones, which is probably touching a bit more into an electronic sound, but it's still definitely got its foot in the psych world. So yeah, on modular, by the way, this one. And last, the wonders from Wollongong, the legends. These ones aren't so modern because this is from the 90s, but you know, compared to 60s psych, it's still pretty modern. Of course, we're talking about the Mighty Tumbleweed. Yes, this is probably the first modern psych stuff I got into, and I didn't even know it at the time. Check them dudes out there. They looked quite different in the 90s to the average cardigan wearing, introspective, sunken chest indie rock dude. But apparently they're quite mellow, nice guys. But I suppose if you smoke enough weed, everyone will chill out until you hit the psychotic stage, of course. Anyway, I got a bit sidetracked there. But yeah, this was, I think, possibly their most popular record, because I remember Hang Around and was it TV Genocide and Armchair Ride definitely were singles and got played a lot, but I'm a big fan of the very psych wild gyroscope. Now these are like guitars like fuzz to the max, and Richie's got great vocals as well. Some mind-melting artwork there. I think they're still going. Like, they released a 7-inch. Well, that's probably about 2 years ago. They had a bit of tragedy in the band. Yeah, one of the guys died. It was what's his name? This is terrible. I got to get my glasses out, and I will tell you. Yeah, it was Jay Curley, who I think does all of the wild artwork on their album covers. And I think this is just black. The album's called Galactophonic, by the way, if you're wondering. And this is on Universal, you know, that small label that no one's ever heard of and doesn't have much reach with distribution. that's my little wrap up of a few great modern psych records from this big brown land called Australia. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one.